Hello YouTube, Candice Mole here with some Australian information for you today. Today I am going to answer the question that I get asked all the time, which is, what is Christmas like in Australia? I get asked this question countless times because I live in the United States, and so today I am going to give you 10 facts about an Australian Christmas. Before I get started, I do need to ask you, have you subscribed to this channel? If you have, welcome back. Thank you very much for subscribing and for watching my videos. I hope that you like them and find them helpful. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps me out because it helps more people to see my videos, and it helps you out because you can see whenever I put out a new video with Australian info or Australian accent tips. So it's a win-win. All right, let's get right on into it. 10 facts about an Australian Christmas. Number 1, the most important thing that you need to know about an Australian Christmas is that it is hot. Australia is in the southern hemisphere, putting it right at the bottom of the map. So that means that when the top of the map has cold weather, the bottom of the map has warm weather. So Christmas actually falls right in the middle of an Australian summer. And actually Christmas Day is very close to the longest day of the year, because you know summer days are longer. So it'll get light, well, I don't know, 5 a.m. maybe, and it'll get dark usually at about 9-ish, depending on which part of the country you're in. So, hot weather at Christmas time. What this means, bringing us to number 2 on this list, is that Christmas actually coincides with school summer holidays. So the summer holidays, much like in other countries, the summer break or the summer vacation is the longest vacation. It's in between the end of one school year and the beginning of another school year. So for Australian schools, that means that school lets out about a week before Christmas, and then the kids are on holidays for around about 6 weeks. Depending on the school, they will usually go back to school around about the first week of February. So how this affects Christmas is that you go on holidays, you've got about a week of mad Christmas preparation with your family. Then you have Christmas Day, get your presents, and you have all summer holidays to play with them. This was one of the best things about growing up as a kid in Australia. Very fun to play with your toys for the whole summer holiday. Number 3, I've written down decorations, but there's a few things within this topic. Obviously, as far as movies and things are concerned and the way that other parts of the world might celebrate, a lot of the decorations revolve around snow. We still do all of those things. All of the decorations that are traditional Christmas decorations in other countries, Australia will still do the same things. We'll put up a Christmas tree. We used to get like fake snow in a can and spray it on the windows so that it looked like frost on the windows. Pain in the bum to get off after Christmas. We only did it for a couple of years before my mum vetoed that idea. Families might throw cotton wool at the tree to simulate snow, or there might be fake snow at a big Christmas event or something like that. So yes, snow is still incorporated into the Christmas decor, even though it's hot at Christmas time. I don't know if this is a thing in the whole country, but certainly in South Australia, we actually go to a Christmas tree farm to chop down a tree. And again, I'm sure that that's not a standard. I'm sure that that is just one option of Christmas trees that you have living in Australia. So some people might have a fake tree from the shop. Some people might go to a hardware store or a garden nursery shop and buy a tree that's already been chopped down. But in my family, we would drive up into the hills, go to a Christmas tree farm where they specifically grow a certain type of tree all year, and then you pay them some money, and then you go out and you chop down a tree and you drag it home. So when you get home, this is very important. My husband was horrified the first time he saw us do this. because you have literally taken a tree from a foresty or a bush type area, when you get it home, you got to spray that thing down so that all of the spiders die. I'm sorry to people who like spiders, but if you don't do that, then when you put the presents underneath it, you're probably going to get spiders in your Christmas presents. And that's not really fun when you're 6. Never happened to us because we sprayed the tree down. Essentially, you spray it down outside before you take it into the house, leave it 10 minutes, give it a good shake, and you see all the fall off. It's a bit barbaric, isn't it? For number 4, I want to talk about the events that will lead up to Christmas. The most common Christmas event in the lead up to Christmas in Australia is Carols by Candlelight. So what this is an outdoor concert, and every state or every major city will have a big Carols by Candlelight, often televised, but then every community will have their own community Carols by Candlelight, often put on by churches, or they'll be put on by the city council. This will consist of a show basically with performers or singers singing Christmas carols. They'll have little skits or whatever with Santa arriving and donating presents. And families will attend with a picnic set up. And the idea is that everyone lights a candle while they're singing Christmas carols. You get a candle, light that baby up, hold it up and sing Christmas carols. And there will be many, many opportunities to join in this tradition throughout the country, whether it's a small community version or whether it's a large statewide televised version. So number 5, I wanted to touch on the tradition that is Christmas as a whole. Up until this point, I've been talking about things or events that every Australian family will have the option of participating in, whether that's community events or decorations in the shops or things like that. When you think about a typical Australian family, it's important to note that Australia is a very multicultural nation. And the more time that goes on, of course, the more people that immigrate to Australia and they bring their wonderful cultures from different countries. So given that Christmas is traditionally a Christian celebration, not every Australian family will choose to celebrate Christmas, even though it is obviously also a bit of a hallmark holiday now. And you don't need to be religious or you don't need to be Christian or Catholic to participate in the celebration. There are families who don't celebrate Christmas at all. They will have their own religious holidays to celebrate around about the same time, or they just choose not to because it doesn't coincide with what they believe. But then this will also affect when somebody might celebrate Christmas and how they might celebrate Christmas within their family. So please know that as I continue through this is coming from the point of view of someone who has a heritage that comes from Europe and the UK. My mum's from Scotland, my dad's family were all from Germany. So what might be my typical Australian Christmas might look a little bit different to somebody else's Australian Christmas. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Okay? So this also leads me into when Christmas will be celebrated. Now, I was very lucky growing up because, as I mentioned, I had those two cultures within my childhood. So the European or the German side of things, we would celebrate on Christmas Eve with my grandparents. But my mum's side, being Scottish from the UK, we would celebrate on Christmas morning. So as a kid, I got 2 Christmases, which I think is quite common for a lot of kids in Australia, given the mishmash of different cultures, which is really fun. Now, I do believe that majority of Australian families that do celebrate Christmas probably do the Christmas morning thing, purely based on the British tradition. Remember that Australia was settled by the British, so that's where a lot of our tradition will come from, a lot of the time. So that means that Christmas Day will be the main day to celebrate rather than Christmas Eve. And it also means that the main time of day that the celebration will take place will be a Christmas lunch with the extended family. Everyone's favorite thing. So that brings me to number 6. Often, activities that people will do on Christmas Day include going to the beach or playing cricket on the beach, for example. Really big activities to do on Christmas Day. And again, it all comes down to the summertime Christmas. So the lunch might be an outdoor barbecue, it might be a barbecue or a picnic on the beach, or it might, be in someone's house, but there will most often be some type of outdoor activity, even if it's just, I remember a lot of years we would just set the table up outside and eat outside. That brings me to number 7, which is the food that is served at Christmas time. Now, again, with the British influence, a lot of families will do the traditional roast, whether it's a turkey or a chicken, roast veggies, etc. But a big thing that a lot of Australian families will partake in is the seafood thing. Apparently, in the few days before Christmas, Australians will purchase 10 times more prawns than they would at any other time of the year. A prawn is a shellfish that is very much like a shrimp. We don't have shrimp in Australia generally. We have prawns. They're delicious. You can barbecue them, but often they will be served in the form of a prawn cocktail, which is cold. Other things that families might choose to eat on Christmas Day, anything you can barbecue. So for an Australian, that would look like snags or sausages, rissoles or meat patties, different types of salads and things like that. And very summery dessert is pavlova or trifle. Delicious. And of course, summertime drinks. Beer is a big thing on Christmas, or any type of summer drink that you might like to drink. Number 8, let's talk about the big man himself, Santa Claus. Santa is a big part of Christmas in Australia. He is also known as Father Christmas. He will be in shopping centres so that you can go and sit on his lap, although I don't know if they do that anymore. I've always thought that's a bit weird, but you can go and get your photo taken with Santa. Tell him what you want for Christmas, and as with most other countries, all of the story around Santa is the same. You might ask, how do you expect Santa to get there with no snow? That's easy. Christmas magic. Typically, kids will still put out biscuits or cookies and a glass of milk for Santa. Some families might put out beer for Santa, if that's what mum and dad like to drink. But most of the time it's non-alcoholic because Santa has to drive his sleigh. Oh, and there'll be carrots for the reindeer too. I did read some people talk about Santa changing out the reindeer for kangaroos. That's not a thing. I've never heard of that. We do give gifts or presents in Australia at Christmas time. If you have a small family, then everyone will get a gift or two. Or for the large extended families, often you'll do a secret Santa. And you'll do this in the workplace too. If you have a end of year Christmas party or something, you might do a secret Santa. If you don't know what that is, it's a game. You pull a name out of a hat, and whoever's name you pull, you have to buy that person a present. And they don't know it's from you. A lot of people might do that in their large families too, because let's face it, Christmas gets expensive. So number 10, talking about saving money, is Boxing Day. I don't believe they do this in the US, which is where I am now. I didn't get to go home for Christmas this year. That's why I'm wearing long sleeves. I got stuck, much like the rest of the world, so we'll be doing a Zoom Christmas this year. But we're still here, aren't we? So we're doing okay. Boxing Day actually is a European or a British tradition, I believe, where the wealthier families in the old times would give a gift or a box of money or a box with a gift in it to their servants to say thank you for the work that you've done this year. So Boxing Day was a tradition that was brought to Australia by the British. Now, Boxing Day, it's on the 26th of December, so it's the day after Christmas Day. And now for Australians, it's just another public holiday. It's kind of like a day of rest after the madness that is Christmas Day. But there are a few traditional things that will happen on Boxing Day every year, the day after Christmas. The first, speaking of saving money, is Boxing Day sales. So it is a public holiday, meaning that most businesses will be closed, but major retailers or major shopping malls will be open for the beginning of one of the biggest sales of the year. So they'll have Boxing Day sales, and that's where all of the stores or the shops can offload their Christmas stock. Another thing that families might like to do on Boxing Day, you might go to the beach again with the family, or you might, do a picnic in a park or something like that. Or a big thing in Australian families is it revolves around sports. There's a couple of major events that every year will happen on December 26th. The first is the Boxing Day Test cricket match. So if you're a big cricket family, then you might just stay home and watch the cricket all day. I'm not a cricket person. I never did that. But another sporting event that happens is the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, which is very exciting to watch on the telly. Lots of boats. So, a few things that families might do on Boxing Day. But it is important to note that it's just another public holiday. That is what we do for Christmas in Australia. Next year, if I get to go, maybe I'll whip out the camera and actually film some of these things for you and put together one of those videos. This year, it didn't happen. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is my last video for the year. Last one of 2020. Good riddance to 2020. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. I hope that you are safe and that you get to at least talk to your family if you can't visit them this year. Please take care of each other, be kind to each other, and I will see you in 2021.